Would you agree that the sole purpose of a National Assembly is to serve and fight for their respective constituencies? If your National Assembly is not serving its purpose by deviating to something completely different, would it not make sense to shut down the entire establishment? At least that's what a serious leadership would do, as we have recently seen the PASTEF regime spearheaded by no-nonsense Ousmane Sonko and Bassirou Diomaye Faye of Senegal dissolve its parliament as they are not serving the interest of the Senegalese people. Click on the top right corner of your screen to see that video. Could the Gambia do the same thing as its parliament has refused to fight for the interest of the Gambian people? Here are 5 incontrovertible reasons why the Gambian National Assembly should be shut down as early as yesterday, in the presence of serious governance. Make sure you stay till the end, because the 5th reason will simply leave you scared for the Gambia's future due to its damning consequences. Let's jump right in. The first reason that suggests that the Gambian National Assembly should be shut down is the instigation of financial misconduct by its members. The National Assembly of the Gambia has been a massive death trap for public finances over the past decade. While this might be a normal phenomenon in the Gambia, financial misconduct has seen a tremendous increase in the National Assembly. In 2019, Gambian National Assembly members quietly approved a significant increase in their annual allowance, which rose by $100,000, equivalent to 5 million Gambian dalasis. This substantial raise, pushed through with little public debate, was criticized for being out of touch with the economic struggles of ordinary Gambians. The move came despite the country's reliance on foreign aid and a GDP per capita of just around $800. Sources highlight how this increase further entrenched self-serving financial practices within the Assembly. In the same year, the Gambian government allocated $1.2 million, equivalent to 60 million dalasis, for the purchase of luxury vehicles for National Assembly members. This expense drew heavy criticism from civil society groups and the public, given the country's economic struggles and the pressing needs in sectors like healthcare and education. So clearly, the National Assembly constitutes public finance devouring wolves who only represent their own interest over the Gambian people. For those reasons, it should be shut down. The second reason is the Assembly perpetuating self-interest over national interest. According to the 2023 Afrobarometer survey, 74% of Gambians believe that National Assembly members are more focused on advancing their own political interests rather than addressing the needs of the general public. This sentiment highlights a widespread perception that the Assembly is disconnected from the everyday concerns of citizens, contributing to a growing lack of public satisfaction in the institution. A 2020 International Republican Institute survey found that 60% of Gambians believe that National Assembly members rarely or never address the concerns of their constituencies. Instead, they are seen as more focused on enacting policies that protect their political and financial interests due to the enormous wages they are currently enjoying despite not being deserving of it. The third reason is the undue influence of the president. Despite being a legislative body, the National Assembly often appears to act as a rubber stamp for the executive order, particularly for President Barrow. Rather than asserting its independence and holding the government accountable, many members are seen as being beholden to the president, prioritizing his agenda over the needs of the people. According to a 2020 report from the Gambia's National Audit Office, nearly $30 million, equivalent to 1.5 billion dalasis in public funds, were unaccounted for due to mismanagement and unapproved expenditures by government ministries, including the National Assembly and the President's office. This massive discrepancy reflects widespread financial misconduct and a lack of transparent accounting practices in the government. In 2022, President Barrow's office reportedly spent over $3.2 million, equivalent to 168 million dalasis, on travel expenses alone, as per the World Bank, representing a significant drain on public finances. This spending came at a time when ordinary Gambians were facing increasing poverty levels and the country was grappling with economic recovery. According to Transparency International, a significant 40% of the Gambia's national budget is spent on the salaries and allowances of government officials. This figure is shocking when considering that less than 15% is allocated to health and education combined, sectors critical to national development. Such budgetary allocation has been heavily criticized for prioritizing the financial benefits of officials over the welfare of citizens. This is a humble request to please support our work by liking this video and subscribing to the African Pacific YouTube channel, where we look at the happenings of the motherland that are often ignored by mainstream media. Please show your support by liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. The fourth reason the National Assembly should be shut down is the loss of public confidence. The National Assembly has lost significant public confidence due to its failure to address key issues such as poverty, unemployment, and corruption. Many Gambians see the Assembly as disconnected from their daily struggles, with little concern for improving living conditions. This eroded trust makes it difficult for the Assembly to function as an effective legislative body, and without public support, its legitimacy is increasingly questioned. According to a 2020 survey by the International Republican Institute, a significant majority, 61% of Gambians, believe that members of the National Assembly are involved in corruption. This perception of widespread corruption erodes the public's faith in the integrity of their elected officials, creating skepticism about the Assembly's ability to govern transparently. According to a 2021 survey by the United Nations, 83% of Gambians support constitutional reforms that would limit the power of the National Assembly, particularly in areas like unchecked salary increases and lack of accountability. This high figure demonstrates a strong desire among the public to curb the excesses of the legislative body and increase transparency in its operations. In light of these challenges, calls for the dissolution of the Gambian National Assembly reflect growing frustrations with its inability to serve the people and ensure good governance. Dissolving the Assembly could pave the way for fresh elections and the restructuring of the institution to better align with the principles of democracy and accountability. The fifth reason is Adama Barrow's bid to change the Constitution. In 2020, 31 members of the National Assembly voted against the draft Constitution, falling short of the 42 votes needed for it to pass. Critics argue that many of these members acted under pressure from President Barrow, particularly because the draft included retroactive term limits and accountability measures. These provisions would have prevented Barrow from running for more than 2 terms and subjected him to post-office investigations. A 2021 Afrobarometer survey found that 63% of Gambians believe that President Adama Barrow's push for constitutional amendments is primarily motivated by a desire to protect himself and his top officials from being held accountable after leaving office. This sentiment reflects widespread suspicion among the public that Barrow is using his influence in the National Assembly to secure personal legal immunity. According to the same 2021 Afrobarometer survey, 82% of Gambians oppose any changes to the Constitution that would grant legal immunity to former presidents. This overwhelming majority suggests that Gambians are deeply committed to ensuring that political leaders can be investigated and held accountable for their actions after they leave office. A survey by the International Republican Institute in 2021 revealed that 76% of Gambians believe that corruption will worsen if the Constitution is amended to grant immunity to former presidents and top officials. This statistic reflects widespread concerns that such legal protections would embolden officials to engage in corrupt activities without fear of future prosecution. These statistics reveal strong public opposition to President Barrow's bid to change the Constitution to avoid justice after leaving office, and they highlight the potential consequences for both domestic governance and international support. This is a humble reminder to please like this video and subscribe to the African Pacific YouTube channel. Please show your support by liking and subscribing. Thank you so much. Much appreciated. This is the end of this video. Please drop your thoughts in the comments section below on these points highlighted or any other reasons we have not mentioned. Thanks for watching, and stay safe.